Alright, so we're going to talk to you guys today about Bootstrap and the Bootstrap Grid system. Uh, First off, what is Bootstrap? Bootstrap is basically a large collection of pre-existing styles that are available for everyone to use. How do you get Bootstrap into your web page? Well, it's very simple. You can just go to getbootstrap.com, download Bootstrap again, unzip the file, and then I like to just copy and paste these files into whatever working folder I'm in, and then I have access to them, which I've done over here for my CSS, fonts, and JS file. Once you have those files in, you're going to want to access them in your HTML document by using your link href css bootstrap, and I'm doing the .min.css file, which you can see is right here. And then I'm also accessing a grid.css file that I created to give you guys a better representation of the grid system. Okay, so what is the Bootstrap Grid? Well, the Bootstrap Grid is their way of breaking up the web page into 12 separate columns. As you can see here, we have 12 columns on the top, and then below we have one row that is taking up 8 columns and 4 columns for a total of 12. Then we have 4, 4, and 4 for another total of 12, and then 6 and 6 for another total of 12. So when creating your page, you're going to want to structure everything of versions of 12. That way everything will line up properly. And in this video, we're actually going to recreate this page to give you guys a better idea of the full Bootstrap Grid system and the syntax you're going to be needing to use Bootstrap. So let's jump into the body, and we'll add a div with a class of container. And then in that div, we'll add another div with a class of row. And within that div, one more div with a class of column. And we want it to be responsive for small, medium, and large screens. So we're going to actually just use small, which actually covers small, medium, and large. And we'll make it span just one column. And if you guys wanted to do a extra small screen, you could come in here and do extra small. Others are medium, so you could do a medium screen, and then you could do a large screen as well. But we're going to stick with small because small covers small, medium, and large. Let's just go ahead and save that, and let's take a look at what we created within the browser. It's this one over here. Let's refresh it, and you can see our column there with it's reactive for small, medium, and large. But I would like to pause here for a moment and jump back into the HTML and just go over these 3 divs. Here we have the first div with a class of container, and this container is actually holding all the rows, and within that row the columns are split up. So we have a div within a div within a div. The container holds the row holds the columns, the column is part of the grid system. And to fully recreate the web page that we saw earlier, we're going to have to create 12 of these div class rows, and we'll just put in a little bit of text so we know which ones are which. And then we'll save time. We'll just copy and paste 12 of these. And I think that's 12 there. Go ahead and save that. And look at our screen, refresh it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and we're missing a few. Let's just put in 2 more. Save it, go back. And there we have our 12 columns. And as you can see, since we used the SM, they're all responsive to the small, medium, and large screens. We could put extra small in there, but we're just doing small at the moment. One thing to note, if you guys don't like this padding that's right here, the container is what's actually giving that padding. So you can go into the container and use container fluid if you wanted to. Go ahead and save that and refresh the page, and that padding is gone now, and it takes up the full width of the screen. So to finish off the page, To make it look like this, we'll just go back into our HTML, get rid of fluid, and save that. And within the same container, we'll create another row by creating another div class row, same as before, and then another div, and we'll give that a column. And I believe the last column I had was small as well, and it spanned 8. And then we'll bring this up just like all the others. We'll create this inline, give a little bit of text so we know what it looks like. We'll save that, save time. We'll just copy and paste one more and change that span 4 columns. Then we'll save it, go back to our web page, refresh it, and there we have our fluid is gone, so the padding is back, and our column is now spanning, our second row is now spanning 8 columns and 4 columns. So just to save you guys a little bit of time, we're going to skip the last 2 rows because I think you guys get a good idea of what the grid system is. But just to do a small recap, we went over how to get Bootstrap into your web page. We went over what the grid system is, and then we went over a little bit of the syntax of how to implement the grid. And that's the end of this video.